What makes a legend? What mix of courage, inspiration, and inner strength propels an ordinary individual to make history, to stand out from the rest of the populace, shape the world around them, become heroes or villains? I am Funky Monkey. Come with me now as we leave the House of Love behind and enter a new realm, the House of Legends. Well, hey there, Internet, and welcome to my House of Legends. Now, after a spate of distinguished champions, we turn our attention to their competition, Marvel. Specifically, the Marvel.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat.
Released in 2023, The Marvels brings together three disparate individuals who are only united by the identity of Marvel and the peculiar entanglement that causes them to teleport between each other's locations whenever their powers are used. Sadly, this movie bombed at the box office, but is it truly so terrible? Or could it be another rambunctious romp in the style of Buckaroo Banzai before it? Well, I couldn't tell you. It's my first time watching it. But with that out of the way, come with me now to the stars of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for another brutal battle with the crazy Kree as we discover the intriguingly intertwined fates of the Marvels. Somewhere in space, the new Kree Suprema Dar-Ben finds a powerful weapon. After blasting Yon-Rogger Gooden and sending him off with a flea in his ear at the end of the first movie, Captain Marvel made good on her promise, heading to the Kree Homeworld Hala and destroying the Supreme Intelligence, the AI that governed the planet. This made a lot of people very angry, and was widely regarded on Hala to be a very bad move. Because as the Kree were now free to choose their own destiny, civil war broke out between the old ways and the new. Sadly, this civil war resulted in the ruination of Hala. As the sun burned out, the atmosphere was stripped, and the seas froze over from the lack of light. All of which led previous Suprema Ronan the Accuser to seek the Power Stone, and you can see how that turned out in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Anyway, Dar-Ben is Suprema of the Kree now, and this quantum bracelet is one of a matching pair. The other belongs to Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, who's about to get entangled in a whole lot of trouble. Captain Marvel is not happy about this, and heads to Tarmax to protect the Skrull refuge. After Captain Marvel destroyed the Kree Supreme Intelligence, she was branded the Annihilator, for the fate of Hala to come. Now as Supremor, Dar-Ben is out for revenge, and where better to start than with the Annihilator's beloved Skrulls. But the entanglement complicates things. The activation of the other bracelet has entangled our heroines, so that whenever their powers are used at the same time, they switch places. And Dar-Ben commences Hala's revenge. Our heroines do their best to evacuate, but Kamala learns the harsh lessons of heroing. Tough break, kiddo. It's a hell of a way to learn about power and responsibility. And you know, coming to terms with not being able to save everyone never gets easier. Enter Valkyrie to shelter the Skrull in New Asgard. But Dar-Ben plans to make Hala great again and continue hurting the Annihilator into the bargain. And isn't it men who are supposed to have big talks while fixing things? Come on down and hear the story of how Maria Rambeau died. You see, ain't no easy way to say this. Monica got blipped, and in that 5 years when half the universe was missing, Maria, who done beat cancer once, got a new tumour, and this was the one that would kill her. And when Monica was blipped back, neither her mum nor auntie was anywhere to be seen. Now we all learn this via memory transfer, but it doesn't keep our heroines from a training montage. And on to water planet Aladna. And right on cue, the Kree appear. But our heroines cannot hurt Dar-Ben, and a swift, if slightly shambolic exit leads to a reconciliation between Monica and her auntie. The Annihilator does blame herself somewhat for the fallout from her impetuous destruction of the Kree Supreme Intelligence. Enough so that she felt too ashamed to return to Earth without making right what she put wrong. But Monica doesn't care either way, and just wanted a family again. But Dar-Ben is coming for Sol. Enter our heroines for a good old-fashioned final battle. But Dar-Ben unites the bands. For all the good it does her. Dar-Ben's entire plan was to force open jump points between Hala and her targets, and with both bracelets being too much for her, the resulting explosion of energy has torn a rip between dimensions. Of course, what was opened can be closed, but it needs to be closed from the other side. Monica steps up. And then there were two. And so our movie ends with Captain Marvel pulling a Hal Jordan, and Kamala Khan pulling a Nick Fury. And the moral of this story is twofold. Firstly, that family, including found family, is important. And secondly, that winning the peace is a lot more difficult than simply winning the war. Anyway, that was The Marvels. And it's certainly worthy of my House of Love. Of course, we're not talking about the House of Love. But actually, I'm going to put it into the House of Legends. This movie is 105 minutes, credits included, and the opening half hour is breathless. In short succession, we are introduced to our heroes, our villain, the Saber space station, and before the 40-minute mark, one planet has already been evacuated, which makes the inevitable decompression hit that much harder. But then, it never really completely runs out of steam. But let's get to the performances. And again, Brie Larson just really doesn't emote all that hard, especially when compared to her niece, Teyonah Parris's Monica Rambeau, or Iman Vellani's fangirling teen heroine Ms. Marvel. Although, my heart leapt to see Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury one last time, ever in control of the situation, and even getting a big damn hero moment for the ride. Of course, we have to talk about the villain, a suitably driven, if eminently hateable performance from Zawe Ashton as Kree Supreme Dar-Ben, all cold vengeance and smug superiority. And if she was coached by Loki himself, Tom Hiddleston, it hardly shows. Of the supporting cast, Zenobia Shroff, Mohan Kapoor, and Sagar Shaikh show that South Asian families flung to all parts of the world rarely differ, at least in their depictions, but they make for a believable family at least. And while I usually separate these sections, like the plot itself, the flow and the flaws are entangled. Much less so once our heroines are collected together, but certainly in the first 20 minutes of the movie where we're jumping all over the place. Once our heroines are collected, however, things calm down considerably, and the movie flows much easier. And I could be curmudgeonly and criticise the singing water planet as cringe, but if it's not for me, then there's at least one part that is, as we finally get that final battle with the villain that I initially felt was lacking from Captain Marvel. And it was a joy to see team building and Ms. Marvel growing as a hero, even as she learned the harsh truths of power and responsibility. Overall then, I don't know what I was expecting coming into this movie, except hoping for it not to suck. And in my opinion, it doesn't suck. And if this were the House of Love, it would certainly make it in. But as a legend, and a marvellous one at that, it barely scrapes by. Still, if you can get by the opening minutes, and once we get a handle on precisely what's going on, The Marvels is a slice of fantastic female friendship in the mighty Marvel tradition. Let's hear it for the girls! Thanks for watching. I've been Funky Monkey, reminding you that it's never too early to start your own legend, and see where it leads. So long, folks! Hey folks, Funky again. If you liked the video, you know where that button is. Why not consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell? And if you want to be extra awesome, you can check out my crowdfunding links. And if you're not fussed about any of it, that's okay too. So long!